Yo, so what's going on, Battlefielders? It's Pwn, and we are back with a nice little Wake Island gameplay. I'm sitting here running out that NG, and I know it. Oh, I love that engineer. Don't get to use it often. I don't know what this guy's going all hippo on me for. You know, he's just going through the water, and of course I get fucked by a tree right there, right? Oh my god, that's just so embarrassing. But anyways, when I'm not climbing for coconuts, I'd like to play the game, and I want to tell you guys about a little story today. Now, this story is something that I hit this moral dilemma earlier today. I was at a store, I bought something, they forgot to ring something up. And this is what the story is. I went on to Twitter, obviously. I need to ask my fans. I don't know what I was thinking. I know how corrupt and fucked up you guys are. I've seen the poopy gun loadouts. I see what you guys are, what kind of people you are. And I start to ask on Twitter, like, what would you guys do? Now, I went in there ready to get ready. I had my mind made up of what I wanted to purchase. I wanted to get a bench and some weights to start lifting, helping my back out a little bit, because it's something that I've been limited, something I can't do too well because of my back. And I'm thinking, you know, why not do the thing that hurts the most or is the most difficult to strengthen my back? I know it's not logical. I mean, I can't put any sense to marriage either, but you know, I hope she doesn't watch this one. But that's just what it is. I felt like that's something I should do. And the other thing I wanted to get a punching bag, you know, a whole stand and set up, and everything came to about $600. You guys are like, oh god damn, so. And yeah, that's a decent amount of money to put down on two pieces of equipment, but the punching bags to to make sure I don't put any more holes in my wall. I get mad all the time, so the punching bag's not necessarily for workouts, even though that's what I'll be using it for. But it's something I could just do. I can just go hit the sack, and after I do that, I can go punch the punching bag, and then and then I could just, you know, be stress relief. You know what I mean? That's amazing. That's what I want to use it for. And I'm gonna tone up, man. I wanna swole up and get all diesel and fucking awesome. I could look like Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob, or Ronnie from Jersey Shore without the retardation. I mean, you know what I mean? I want to look like a badass, but no, actually, I wouldn't want to be that fucking diesel. That's just intimidating. I don't know. But not to mention, their nipples look weird. Big muscular men's nipples look weird. It just looks so out of place. It's so awkward. But anyways, enough about men's nipples right now. You guys are probably gonna go find a picture. Oh my god, those nipples are weird. But seriously, so I'm sitting here with this dilemma I ask you guys, and the crowd was mixed. Some people are like, dude, that's free shit. They fucked up. You need to walk out. I got a free item out of it, and I can understand it. So I started thinking a little bit. I mean, what should I do? Because I don't feel guilty about it. I fucked up before. My drawer's been 100 short before, so I know what it's like. I didn't lose my job over it. Not to mention this situation, I don't think the guy's going to get pegged for it. They're just going to find out when they walk through the store here in a month or two, when the district manager, somebody comes through, realizes they're, you know, one of the big items is missing, it's unpaid for. They're not going to go through the footage and highlight reel that shit. No one's going to find out who did what. But, you know, he forgot to ring up the punching bag, which came to, I think, $140, $150. So I walked out of there with $600 of equipment for $450, which obviously to me, everybody's like, oh yeah, man, you gotta do that. And it wasn't so much of an issue that I didn't want to go ahead and send it back. I mean, I wouldn't have had a problem going in there paying for the money. I mean, I had my mind made up. I expected to pay that kind of money. Not a big deal. And I wanted to kind of go do it, but then I decided not to. And it was because it seemed like the not necessarily the pros were better than the cons, but the cons seemed like they were too bad to risk. The guy was really nice. Therefore, I wanted to make sure that he didn't get in trouble. But I started to think to myself, I mean, all these guys on Twitter, I mean, I was going back and forth between you guys. You're like, hey, man, keep that shit. No, go back. You know, what would Jesus do? You got a kid on the way. Is that what you want to teach him? And I'm like, oh, fuck, you're killing my conscience right now, guys. And it's just like, you guys were, like, molesting me mentally. And I liked it. And I've not been jerked that hard since about 12 minutes ago. But besides that, I mean, it was crazy. So I started thinking, I'm like, you know, my biggest concern was if I go back there and say, hey, man, you know, I was afraid to go back and say, hey, you forgot to ring this out. And you know what I mean? And the product, I was afraid that he was actually going to get in trouble because he was there with his manager. So I was afraid that, like, if I was going to go back and say, hey, man, here's $150, you forgot to ring this up, he would have probably gotten in trouble for letting a $150 item walk right out the store. So I was kind of worried about the nice guy getting in trouble on top of so many other things. And one of the things that really just put it into perspective for me, and this made me understand a little bit, because this is not some little mom and pop store. This is not some small business. This is a big business where I purchased this from. So this is not going to be a big hit to these guys. I'm not worried about it. I don't believe in that whole karma bullshit. I don't. I really don't. I mean, I believe in fairness and everything like that, but I started thinking, and one of the fans went ahead and, you know, hit me up on Twitter, and he's like, man, you know what? If you overpaid $150, you think they'd call you and be like, hey, man, you paid $150 over, get your money back? Or do you think they'd keep that shit? And I started to think, I'm like, unless it fucks up their drawers and something's wrong, they'd probably just keep and walk with it. It's $150 unaccounted for. They'd walk with it and it'd go in their bank account. They wouldn't contact me and say, hey man, you overpaid. They wouldn't hunt me down or hunt down anyone to find out who overpaid. So I started thinking, I'm like, well, that's a good perspective. They probably wouldn't give it back to me. Why should I give it back to them? And, you know, I think I decided that I'm not going to do it. And I know it's a moral thing. People can hate me for it, think it's wrong, think it's fucked up. It's happened to me. I know it sucks. But in reality, I don't think it's a big deal. And it's just one of those situations. If you want to judge me for it, judge me. I know it's not right. But everything's not right. The world's not right. The world's not fair. It's not like I stole from an individual person or anything like that. I mean, I'm not really fucking with anybody's retirement fund or anything. So I just didn't think it was too big a deal. I'm not going to go back there and deliver something or go back and, hey man, I got the thing all set up. It's awesome. I'm swole now. I'm diesel. Look at these muscles, and give them $150 because I walked out of there and it was technically their mistake. But yeah, that's what it is, man. I don't believe in the issues and the karma. I mean, life shits on you. It's ups and it's downs, and I don't believe in any of that shit. Life's not fair, man. My wife gets off like 19 times a night. You know what I mean? I get off once. How's that fucking fair, bro? Where's that ratio going, huh? I wear floaties to bed. I'm just beast. Make it float.